Ladies and gentlemen, this is former Memphis police officer Brandon Williams. And he recently did a video on TikTok that went viral. And he worked for the same police department as the five officers that killed Tyree Nichols. And he actually talked about, how he felt about the entire thing. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video and then I'll be back with my commentary.
Nichols was laid to rest today at Mississippi Boulevard Christian Church, where family and friends got the chance to say their goodbyes.
Now, so far, 5 Memphis police officers have been fired in connection to his death. A 6th officer is on leave and a 7th under investigation. 3 Memphis Fire Department employees were also fired, and 2 Shelby County Sheriff deputies are on administrative leave. As the Tyree Nichols death investigation continues, people are still wondering why the beating escalated in the first place.
Fox 13's Kayla Solomon is live right now at the Mount Moriah station. Kayla, you had the chance to sit down with a former officer who served from that very station.
Daryl, that's right. Brandon Williams grew up here in East Memphis, and he says once he became an officer, it's the same exact neighborhood that he patrolled. Now he lives in Dallas and he's no longer an officer, but he says he had to speak about the Tyree Nichols death investigation on TikTok.
I was a former Memphis police officer between the years of 2016 and 2021.
It's been a little over a year since Brandon Williams patrolled the streets as a Memphis police officer.
And one thing I bragged about with Memphis being a majority black department, which is rare in a lot of major cities, but with Memphis being a majority black department, I felt that connection with us being a majority minority department and having a high population of Latino officers as well helped us better connect with the city.
But now his former department is under a microscope as people dissect the training and the conduct by 5 officers shown in the body cam video beating of Tyree Nichols, eventually leading to his death. The 5 now former officers, Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Emmett Martin, Desmond Mills, and Justin Smith. Williams says 2 of these officers were his friends and colleagues, and there was one specific thing he saw in the video that was not taught in the academy.
There is no way, form, or fashion that you take a police boot and you strike a man's face multiple times while he's on the ground. No form, no way, no fashion. There is no way that is excusable.
In fact, Williams says they're taught to focus on something called the force continuum, where officers apply the same amount of force as they're given when at a scene. And he admits in this case, that was not done.
But I also know that there is a responsibility and a duty and a diligence you have to have so that these situations don't have. So I would say it was a slew of emotions. But the biggest one, honestly, it was painful. It was painful to watch. It was painful to hear. And it was painful because it was the same emotions as if you already knew the ending of a sad story, but you had to put eyes on what happened.
So far, that TikTok by Williams has over 600,000 views, and he says as more details come out about this investigation, he'll continue to add his commentary. Daryl?
That is Fox 13's Kayla Solomon. Kayla, thank you so much. We'll be
Okay, so as you saw, former Memphis officer Brandon Williams did a video on TikTok, and he pretty much voiced his opinion about how he felt about the Tyree Nichols case. And he said, I was a former Memphis police officer, and he was an officer between 2016 and 2021. And that video, like I told you, over on TikTok has gone viral. It's been a little over a year since Brandon did any patrolling on the streets of Memphis as a police officer. And you heard what he said. He thought it was great that Memphis was a predominantly black neighborhood and most of the officers were black. So he saw that as a plus. But after looking at how Tyree Nichols was beaten to death, and don't look so good, does it? And, I have another story where several people have come forward to say they have gotten beaten up by that same group of cops. So I might do that story soon. So, anyway, now his former department is under a microscope as people dissect the training and conduct of the five officers, as shown in the body cam beating of Tyree Nichols that led to his death. So he said two of the police officers he was close to, but he worked with all five of them, you know? So he said, what he saw on the video was not what they were taught in the academy. And you heard him said there is no way, form, or fashion police boot, should be striking a man's face with a police boot. Yeah, you shouldn't be kicking anybody in the head. And I've seen several videos of these cops out here doing just that. In fact, Williams said they were taught to focus on something called force continuum. And he said it's supposed to be the same amount of force you apply that they're given at the scene. So, they didn't follow any protocol. They really didn't. It was just all about inflicting the most brutal pain on one man, five officers on one man. And he was not even a big man on top of that. And, I have my current events coming tomorrow. And I watched a video on Democracy Now! And it was Ben Crump and Tyree Nichols' parents. And his mother talks about how the night that he was killed, how how the police came to her door and lied to her. They told her he was involved with a DUI and they had to pepper spray him. And it was all a lie. I mean, nothing that these officers have said is the truth. That's why I don't believe the reckless driving. I don't believe the affair. And now you got a former cop. He's not even talking about some affair. He's not talking about anything like that. And it's because I have to agree with his parents. They're saying that that rumor came from the police department in retaliation to those five cops getting fired. And that's really not far fetched to believe. It really isn't. So, since he put the video out over on TikTok, it's gotten over 600,000 views. And he said he'll continue to answer questions as the investigation continues. So he no longer even lives in Memphis. He now lives in Dallas, Texas. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.